Hello, it's Dave Bumgarner, MeetDaveBum.com. And the question of the day is it easy to talk to strangers? Well, I'm down here in Tennessee on a long weekend with the wife, and she's in shopping, and I'm sitting out here in the car with a headache. But the question I had today was, is it easy to talk to strangers? And the answer is yes, it's extremely easy to talk to strangers. It's the topic that we struggle with. Lady next to us had a nail in her tire, and she came out, and easiest conversation I've ever had. You tell her she's got a nail in her tire, and oh, you're not sure where to go because you're not from around here, and but you might want to get it looked at pretty quickly so you don't have any issues out on the highway. And you have a 5-minute conversation, and off she goes. But at the same token, totally would lock up trying to talk to her about business at this point. And I think that's what we all struggle with, is the topic. It's just not people, it's just the topic, because you don't want to feel like an idiot or like someone that's being pushy or salesy when that's not necessarily what you're doing. You're trying to help them do the same kind of things you're trying to do if they're interested, but you've got that fear, and that fear is crippling. It will absolutely stop you in your tracks when you're trying to succeed doing these kinds of businesses. And myself, like a lot of other people, find it really, really difficult to strike up that conversation with somebody you don't know. And the funny thing is, it doesn't matter. You don't know them. You can talk to them. You can ask them. You can see if they're open to what it is that you're doing. And if they say no, what does it matter? You're never going to see that person again. And why we have that fear and why that fear is so ingrained in us is something that I think I'm going to need to find out if I'm going to continue to make an effort at this and try to be successful. And I see a lot of people that are the same way. And, out here talking to people on different groups that we're all part of, and everybody struggles with the same thing. They're petrified to talk to people, and they're just people. They're no different than you and I. And when you have that fear, it just makes things so much more difficult. And I think it becomes easier once you've had success, once you've had a lot of sales or had a lot of people join your business, or whatever the case may be. If you were talking to these people about your regular job, it'd be a no-brainer. You could start I could walk out in this parking lot and start a conversation with anybody here about networking, about IT, about Cisco and all the different types of technology I work with, and I wouldn't think twice about it. But taking that extra step outside of your comfort zone into something a little bit different is mind-boggling how crippling it can be. And I now realize what I have to do to try to make, trying to think how to put this, how to make those changes in myself so that I can get past that fear. And one of the biggest fears people have a lot, I've noticed lately, is doing a Facebook Live. And that's become relatively easy for me. I don't think twice about it now. I pick up the phone, start the video. Facebook Lives are a piece of cake. I mean, what's hard about it? You jump on the phone, you start talking, give an opinion or give somebody some information that they can use, and it might be good, it might be bad, but it might be something they can use. You just never know. And at some point, you need to be able to take that off of Facebook, off of the internet, off of social media, and be able to do the same thing in person. And so that's going to be my next step, is really trying to work on eliminating that fear and trying to get to the point where those things no longer bother me. And a big part of that, I learned from a gentleman named Ramasio Fulcher, and Ramasio says, don't care what they think. It doesn't matter. You can go do whatever it is you want in this life. You can go do whatever you want, and it doesn't matter what anybody thinks but you. And that's where we all get hung up, because we worry too much about what other people think. And regardless of who you are, there's somebody in your life probably that you worry about what they think about what you do and what you say and what you're trying to accomplish. And that's just human nature. Everybody wants to be accepted. Everybody wants to be given given support for what it is they're trying to do. And you look for that support from certain people, and if you don't get it, then fear really kicks in, and you start to worry about, oh, what's this person going to think, and what if I fail? So what if you do fail? It doesn't matter, and I think my wife actually has something at home that says something about, well, what if I fail? And then it says, yeah, but what if you succeed? Well, if you succeed, then all this becomes a moot point. It becomes that much easier to talk to anybody and everybody about what it is that you're doing. And I, for one, hope I can get over that fear. I'm not afraid to admit that I have that fear. I think that's part of the problem too. A lot of people are afraid to admit it. And unless you admit it, you're never going to be able to get past it. And getting past it is one of the largest hurdles we have in this industry. So sooner or later, you just have to stick with it and keep trying to beat down that fear. And once you do, I think it's going to open up the floodgates for your business and for yourself. So hopefully this has been some good information, and you can take it with you and do with it what you please. Thank you.